Welcome to Salient Aquatics. Hope you enjoy the Fishroom tour.
Like this and like that and like this and like this. Like this.
So I'm going to start off with the 125-gallon Oscar tank. I got these guys when they were babies, and as you can see, they grew up very well. I have a sponge filter on that FX6 running this tank because they like to dig so much sand up. They were constantly getting too much sand in my canister filter, but that fix did resolve that issue. I don't mind scraping the algae on the back wall. Algae is good for the aquarium. I just get the sides and the front. And as you can see here, we'll come back to these pothos later. I'm not a fan of those fake decorations, but he loves that log, so I keep it in there for him. He sleeps in the log, and the white one sleeps behind the log at night. Had to get this heater here because it wasn't glass, because these guys love to use heaters as toys, and the last thing I need for them to do is break the dang heater in the water, right? But these are by far one of my favorite fish. Awesome fish. I got a great deal on this tank. It came with an FX4, and down here I built some 10 gallons underneath the stands. This is my 10-gallon underneath that I was just talking about. It houses a single female betta. I had to put her in her own tank because she was bullying the other fish she was with. But she gets along good in here. She seems to be pretty happy, and this jungle valve is doing real well in here. You know, this tank and the other one I'm about to show you, they're kind of out of sight, out of mind sometimes, so you have to get down on the floor and keep an eye on them and check on them. I'll leave this mirror right here so I can have her flare up. I try to remember to do it every day. I tried to get her to do it here for you, but she wasn't interested in flaring up. It's good to flare your bettas up periodically. It's really good for their health, but you don't want to do it too much. So, as you can see, she wasn't interested. This one's a little bit dirty. I have a hard time keeping this one clean for some reason. I have a little baby tetra hanging in the back filtering it. I keep it clean and do my water changes. There's just a couple long fin serpae tetras in here. These fish are very cool. I've had some people mistake them for bettas, which is one reason the female betta was picking on them and why I separated. This is my 75-gallon Jack Dempsey tank. Love this fish. Lots of personality. You can see he loves the omega-1 freeze-dried shrimps. But he's in this tank with a big common pleco, and they have a really good relationship. They understand each other and don't pick on each other. And I don't have issues from the pleco, and I don't have issues from the Jack Dempsey picking on the pleco, because I did have this guy kill an electric wheel car I had. I'm pretty certain it was him. So I put together a nice balance in this tank here, which was the idea. I needed the Jack Dempsey to have enough attitude to put the pleco in his place, and it works out really well for both of them. This piece of driftwood here I got free from a friend from the Myrtle Beach inlet. Looks good in there, and he loves his terracotta pot. They kind of share it, but right there is where he mostly hangs out. You can see him beside the inlet of the FX4 that runs this tank. I feed him at night, but this Jack Dempsey likes to take his wafers. But a beautiful fish. And of course, here's my super colorful 75-gallon mbuna tank. These guys are, as you can tell, just pounding the babies out. I'm going to have to make some changes with these guys. I am going to have to get them in a bigger tank. I have taken some of these to the fish store for credit, but you don't make out. I'll probably be better off selling on a local group I am in the market site. This is packed full with Texas Holy Rock, which is great. I don't have a lot of aggression out of these guys, and I think it's because I've provided them enough line of sight breaks and holes to go into, and man, are they excavators. They will dig sand out like crazy, make their own little caves and stuff. Everybody gets along. I don't have any issues out of these guys, except for one when I first started. I think I started with 10 of them, and as you can see, it's going rampant, and I'm getting lots of different colors now. The only thing I could use is like a red top. Get some red coloring in there. There's 1OB. But I love this tank. That one down there, the ACI, he's my favorite. The purple one with the yellow fins. The Java fern's about the only plant that can stand up to the higher pH. And I do put cichlid lake salt in here for the more vitamins and minerals. I also have a pre-filter on this FX4, and I had to add these two AC110s because I'm getting too many fish, so I needed additional filtration. Well, this is my 55-gallon tiger barb tank. This is one fish I can't just not have. They're on my top of my list of one of my favorite fish, and I just think they're beautiful. I love their personality. I put a short out this morning, well, Friday morning, yeah. One had came down with some fin and tail rot, which turned into a secondary fungal infection. I think this is the one that jumped out of the bucket when I was soaking them in Epsom salt, but I'm treating it. Currently, I have some Chem Paragard in there, and I'll be doing that daily and keeping an eye on them. But again, Jungle Bow, Amazon swords, they're doing great. The only liquid fertilizer I use now is Easy Green from Aquarium Co-op. It does pretty good, but I am going to be trying a new one next instead of ordering this from KJE Aquatics. He was talking to me all about it. I'm going to pick that up. According to him, it's the same thing. It's just got a little bit more of a boost to it. And this is my 10-gallon dirted sand tank. Got a couple of inches of dirt, 3 inches of sand. Put a bunch of plants in it, and the only thing that resides in this tank right now is cherry shrimp. I do have a sponge filter, as you can see, running in here. I got this sand from my 125-gallon Oscar tank when I first started it, and of course it insta-cycled because of that. And then I have that sponge filter I was running the tank to help insta-cycle tanks, like you're going to see shortly. Next to this tank I have a 10-gallon QT tank. I would use those sponge filters to insta-cycle them anytime I get new and sick fish. But I did keep it in here just to ensure I had a good security, a good bacteria, if you will. I will be taking that sponge filter out eventually. Like I said, there's my 10-gallon QT tank. And this is my official Fishroom stool. I put a video out on this. Put all my favorite brand labels on there. Anytime you order from Aquarium Co-op, of course, they send you stickers, and those go on there. I got this thing from Ross Dress. There's a good price on it. It's a nice stool. It's solid, and I use this for everything and as a tool. This is my 125-gallon fancy goldfish tank. Now, I have had some issues with a couple, like this girl right here. When I got this tank, had a bad case of bloat, and she was pine coning, but I was able to fix her. That one there above her had a bloat at one point, and I was able to fix him. There's another big piece of driftwood I got from my buddy in South Carolina. I really like this tank here a lot. And these other ones came with the tank, as you see here. These calicos. Beautiful, beautiful fish. There is a golden dojo loach in here. I'll be showing you that here in a minute. I love the golden dojo loach. Really became fond of them. Their antics are hilarious. They're just a treat to watch some of the things they do. He'll try to go in and get into the outlet of the filter, and use that right there, as you can see, just hanging out. Sometimes I walk by and he'll look like he's dead, but and then he moves. They're crazy. I really enjoy them. But as you can see, my methods of fixing bloat and dropsy works really well. Now these two, this one down here was on his deathbed. I brought him back from his deathbed. He had all kinds of diseases, but he's not 100%, and he is blind in one eye. And then this one here got a pleco got to him that was in this tank, that now he's with the one with the Jack Dempsey. Got him back to health, but as you can see, he's not 100% either. They kind of sulk a lot. This stuff happens. I'm fully aware of putting plecos with fish, but I fixed it. This is my 29-gallon. I shut down one of my 20-gallon longs and put all those fish in this 29-gallon, and it's just your live barriers. I got some rasboras. I got some pepper mollies, wagtail, sunburst platies. There's a zebra danio in here, neon tetras, which is another one of my favorite. There is one single guppy in here. There's an amber tetra in here, just a mix. Gave them a bigger tank, and when I did move them over here, I did see quite a bit of difference. They seem to enjoy their new home. The plants are doing well here. All these crypts I got from Silver Creek Aquatics, which is now Silver Creek Wildlife. The Jungle Vow I got from Silver Creek too, and I just, as they grow, break them off and put them in different tanks. Jungle Vow has got to be probably my favorite plant. As you can see here, this is my 125-gallon community tank. We've got a mix of a lot of angelfish in here, some blood parrot cichlids down below. You'll see some pictus catfish. I call them my race cars because they're constantly running around really fast. They help keep the tank clean. As you can see here, some more jungle val. Spreading it everywhere. Really love that plant. Amazon swords. There's a lot of hide holes in here. Now, like I was saying before on that mbuna tank, when I had one that got bullied, so I had to take him out, nursed him back to health. They had all of his fins down to a nub. Once I got him back to health, I put him in this tank, and he is happy. He loves being in this tank. There's my big pleco hiding out, thinking we can't see him. Had this guy a long time. He's about 12 inches. I love big plecos. But if it works out to where they get too big, I have a place I can take them. That's the mbuna back there. Happy, healthy, loving it, and gets along with everybody. There's no issues with aggression. The biggest aggression I have is from these two black Scar angels you see right here. These angels are aggressive, man, and these two are the worst of all of them. But there's probably I just added my new ones in here. As you can see, that one's smaller. I moved them out of that 29-gallon and put them in here because originally that 29-gallon was just to be a grow out tank for them. And once I got big enough, I moved them over here and then shut that 20-gallon long down and put them in the 29-gallon. But I like these beautiful golden top angelfish, whatever you want to call them. These glass lids I had made by a local company. It didn't cost me a dime. That works really good, and I just stuck those sticky hooks to them for a handle. This is the Marine Land Light. I got a really good deal on this too. You know, a lot of people think you need to spend thousands of dollars for a fish room. You really don't. If you're patient, you can get tanks like this one here. I got a good deal on it, as well as the light. I didn't have any more room in here in my fish room, so I had to move this 20-gallon long into my bedroom. It's divided by this Life with Pets tank divider, which I recommend highly. It's great. It's durable. It doesn't get algae and crud built up on it. And on each side, of course, we have a male betta and cherry shrimp. Lots and lots of cherry shrimp. These guys are happy and healthy, and they seem to just be happy in their environment. He's resting up there in the water sprite. I recommend water sprite as another great plant for all fish. If you have enough of it, it's great for them to lay eggs in. It would fry, have some protection, and they like to rest on it. Breaks line of sight. The only thing I don't like about water sprite is when it starts breaking down, it gets real messy, especially if you have a lot of flow in your tank. But in the low flow tank like this, it works out really well. And these little filters I got for free. And then here's just an overview of the fish room again. You go through one by one, but it's kind of nice to just see what it looks like in one motion as I'm doing here. Left to right going around the room. I made this sign myself out of foam and spray paint. I think it came out pretty good looking 3D. And then just right on around the room, all the tanks you saw previously. A little wall art there. That AC 110 on the wall I use for parts when I need it. Added those rope lights not long ago for some aesthetic looks. My pothos are doing really good. I got pothos in all my tanks at the top. They really help, and they really help bring that nature look to the room. This one here is just doing really well. As you can see, it's just climbing up that wall. You can see all the Fish Fam stickers on. That's where I put them when I get them. But just going around the room, you can see the pothos just growing great, doing well. I supported that one with a wire. There's my Ben Ochart cup. I got a piece of driftwood sticking in it because the wife chipped that one. But it's supporting some pothos and some more wall arts. And the pothos are just doing really good. They're beefy. The leaves are getting big. I got those 2 huge sponge filters for free. Just goes all around the room. And I'll turn this light on for you so you can really see this one. It's vining up as well, really well. All the way up there. It looks really good. Help keep them nitrates down. Gives your room a little bit more of that nature look. Pothos are also good for the house. Well, let me show you my food cabinet. This is where I keep all my food. I've condensed foods together to make just like a witch's brew. And that one there I pulled out for the mbunas, but I give everybody vegetables. It's all high quality foods, Stream Aquatics, Northfin Foods. I also have New Life Spectrum mixed in that. They're Algae Max. There's Fluker's is Finsect Foods. And this is where I do my live streams. And this is my cabinet where I keep all the stuff that I use. Only the stuff I use. I got rid of the waste. I only keep what I need. It's organized, as you can see. I never lose anything. If something's missing, I know as well. And these are the most common tools I use, I keep handy. I go around every morning and night checking the temperature and checking my filters to make sure they're running and I don't have any heater failures. And those tools down there, of course, I use for when I'm doing water changes. And I don't do it in the sink anymore. I just made this board so my pump hose goes through that hole and the python screws to the other side, so everything goes outside. I don't have no sand building up in my indoor plumbing. I have a table in my backyard I use for cleaning filters, so all that stuff stays out of my plumbing. And of course, underneath, just a quick look, there's the FX6 where I keep buckets and store things that I use. And then I created these curtains on these stands instead of getting plywood just to cover them up and make them look a little nicer. And I screwed a magnet to the wood, and I used another magnet, as you can see here. So when I work in there, I just bunch it up and I use the magnet to hold it in place, and we're good to go. And I always recommend when you're using canister filters to keep them in totes like this in case you do have a leak. Just another trick, something I like to do that I've learned, and it works really well. Even when you gotta unhook it and take it out of there, you always get a little water that squirts out when you take the hoses off. All that goes right in that tote, not on the floor, and you have no mess. That's it, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know in the comments below what you think of the fish room. Let me know what you think of my processes and how I've done things and fine-tuned things over the years and saving cost and all that. But I hope you like what you saw. Future plans would be, and once I remodel the house and we can make a different spot to eat at, I'd be getting rid of this table and be putting a monster tank right in the middle here. That'd be my only future plans. I do want one big monster tank, but until I can make those accommodations, it's not going to happen for a while. But that's what's going to happen. One big, like 300 or 500 gallon right in the middle of this room. So thanks again. You guys enjoy your weekend. Be safe. And thank you for all your support. I'm almost at 1,000 subscribers. So please like, share, subscribe. If you made it to the end of this video, you're the true ones. So shout out to you. Till next video, guys.